Hi, this is Farel. Welcome to the video of me working on my Robot Todd page. This is page 6 and day 2 of 72 days that I'm going to be making these little videos. I actually did this yesterday, or did the drawing and the coloring yesterday, but I had a lot of stuff going on and had to leave the house a couple of times, and then so by the time I was finished, it was pretty late, and I'd started was editing the video, and then just as I was trying to do the voiceover, I passed out. So I'm back fresh, and I'm going to post this today. But yeah, here you can see me penciling it. I took a long time, too long penciling this as usual, but yeah, hopefully today's panel will go quicker. The stairs were kind of challenging, just because as I often do, I don't really think about what I have to draw in the future when I start designing things. So at the first couple panels, I just kind of hastily laid out this little wizard's lair that it's like a tower that the wizard lives in. And yeah, this, as I was doing this, I was like trying to figure out how many stairs did I have? And like the first panel, I think there's like 6 stairs, and then the second time you see them, there's like 4 stairs. I don't know if anyone would notice, but it was kind of driving me crazy. So I was like, oh, I'll just put in 5 or 6 stairs here, and kind of guess at how big this circle is, and just sort of guess at, it's not like I'm looking at a reference to this room. It's just sort of like initially out of like a loose idea out of my head, and then me constantly referencing the little pictures from the previous pages that I had drawn. I didn't really even, sometimes I'll do a little thing in the corner of the page where I'll just sort of lay out the room like from an overhead view, like a super loose architectural drawing, like architectural plans. But I didn't do it this time, and I don't do it that often anymore. But just to kind of get, it's kind of a useful tool sometimes if you're like trying to figure out like, okay, where does this thing in relation to this other thing? I don't know if in movies, I guess, do they call that blocking? I don't know, when they will tape a part off on the ground, like, okay, you have to stand here, and this is your mark or whatever. I guess with comics, it doesn't really apply as much because it's like, who cares? You could just, in between the panels, oh, this person moved over here to there. But so I kind of try to keep that in mind, that like readers are probably not going to necessarily be noticing. But I notice stuff like that when I read comics, especially if it's really, jarring or garish. Where it's like, but I guess it doesn't matter. Like a buddy pointed out to me that a lot of times in comics, like, yeah, the action takes place between the panels. So you can have characters be talking about one thing, but they're doing something else, and you just kind of like, as you're reading the comic, you just sort of fill it in and don't really notice that stuff. So yeah, anyway, this is if you're new to this or watching this video for the first time, this is my Robot Todd comic, and it's going to be, I'm guessing like it'll be like 6 issues for the first trade. I have an idea for like continuing it and doing a longer story, but the first, I don't know if I'm going to take a break after I finish the first 6 issues or something, but I want to get 3 issues finished before I try to like announce this or see if I can get a publisher for it. I'm hoping Image will publish it. There's no guarantees in life, or even if there'll be any comics being published in the near future, like, who knows. But so that's my plan anyway, is to get like a few issues done before I announce it or anything. So I'm just going to be doing it on my Patreon and this YouTube channel if you happen upon this. But these videos are basically for people that look at my Patreon and want to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to be posting one of these every day on my Patreon, at least half a page for the next 72 days. Yeah, so here, this is part of the story. So far, he's like just kind of become aware, Robot Todd, the sorcerer, is like doing experiments on him, like disassembling him, reassembling him, up to all sorts of nefarious purposes with this, this, I don't really say it in the story, but she finds this Robot Todd. We don't really say how it came into her possession, but like her little minions brought Robot Todd. He was damaged and unconscious somehow, and I'm not going to explain it really probably ever, unless I do a whole nother story, like an origin story for him. But I don't really want to. I think the idea was that initially was that the story took place after the events of It Will Hurt, but I might change that just because I don't, at this point, don't have any characters crossing over other than Todd. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out, but it doesn't really matter because it will be a long time before I, probably a long time before I am at a point in the story where that would come up. So yeah, this on the right-hand side, you can see me adding some warmer, brighter colors to this, which is, I was trying to figure out, the reason I sort of saved this for last was I was trying to figure out what I wanted Todd to be seeing. I wasn't sure even when I was penciling it, and then I was started the colors even. I was like, I don't really know what is going on there, other than I wanted him to have some kind of like cosmic awareness, something to symbolize his like enlightenment or awareness that he's having. And so I figured like, okay, maybe I'll do some kind of like weird solar system-y thing that's in this like, you know, these, what do they call those, concentric circles. And yeah, and I wanted the colors to be stand out, pop a lot more than the rest of the sort of murky colors of this you know, this post-apocalyptic magic world. And even though sort of electrical magic colors of the hot pink and the blue that I've been using for these first few pages, I wanted something to kind of offset that. So I have this sort of buffer ring where it's more of a sort of a muted blue, almost like the white of the page is coming through. I mean, not really, but I mean, that's kind of what the vibe I wanted it to have. And yeah, the sort of warm, sort of sun-like colors of the yellow and orange to be in the center there, sort of like he's getting like this awareness into this other realm, but the wizard is distracted by this bulb just appearing in the middle of her lair, which is we find out in the next panel it's like a communication device, like a crystal ball that she uses to talk to her brother. It's not made of crystal; it's like some kind of magic energy, but still the principle is kind of similar. Yeah, and so it's like a way these guys. And I'm actually going to have like a version of like a cell phone, like a mobile phone in this too. That's it's not going to be magic. It's just going to be like weird science that somehow works. And yeah, it sounds dumb when I'm saying out loud, but I have it as part of this. You know, hopefully it'll go well. Yeah, here I'm just kind of finishing up, adding these little touches. I inked or I lettered did the lettering with the Faber-Castell Pitt pen. Looks like I messed up the W there in Powerful. I have to fix that. Photoshop. Here I'm just kind of going with some white and kind of trying to pop out some of the edges of the energy, of the ball energy coming out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this time. Thanks for watching. Check out my Patreon if you want, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.